advanced into the offside position. Here Leeds one up then, the ball with Barnett, the Arsenal goalkeeper, and his long clearance is straight down the middle, aiming for the head of Radford, but Charlton is there. The ball to Graham in field to Radford. Radford sternly challenged and tackled there by Reaney, and Reaney sends the Leeds right flank away. That right flanker is Alan Clark, and Alan Clark coming in with a chance of the shot. He shoots and he gets a little bit too much loft on it, but a tremendously fast defensive recovery there by Paul Reaney. A beautiful ball played forward, and again this slim man Alan Clark, who over the last couple of months for Leeds United I think has really come into his own. He's really flowered into a very fine player indeed. So Leeds still lead by 1-0, but Arsenal are anything but dead. They'll fight and they'll fight and they'll come back and fight again. You've got to get 2 up. That's the aim, I think, of Leeds United. 2 goals clear and it would be theirs. But while it's just 1 up for Leeds, then Arsenal are bound to be in there, pitching with everything that they've got. The ball from a free kick is played down the line to Eddie Gray. Gray challenged there by Alan Ball. He beats Alan Ball, holding the ball at his feet. He goes inside right and he shoots. It's a beauty! And it's palmed away there by goalkeeper Barnett. What a magnificent effort. I think one of the most superb pieces of football by Eddie Gray that we've seen in the game overall. A most lovely shot and an equally splendid save by goalkeeper Barnett. So it's still 1-0, and the man trotting across to take the corner is the man that made that shot, Eddie Gray, on that far side of the field. And in swinging corner, he'll try and curl this wickedly, moving in flight. But no, he takes it short. He plays it to Lorimer. Lorimer now with time to arc the ball into the centre. Headed away by McClintock. From McClintock it now comes up to Story. As Story a long one downfield into Leeds territory. But Reaney has got time to trap it neatly, turn, survey the field and play it forward again. He plays it to Clark. Clark has got a chance here. He turns, he feeds Lorimer on the right and Lorimer shoots. And that one was going at the rate of knots by the left-hand post of goalkeeper Jeff Barnett in the Arsenal goal.
Arsenal were soon to substitute Ray Kennedy for John Radford, and certainly they needed to do something, because Leeds were now letting time slip through their fingers, wasting time, some might say. Leeds were keeping possession, sending long passes back to their goalkeeper, denying Arsenal possession. And of course, without the ball, Arsenal couldn't play football. And now there was under 10 minutes left.
Norman Hunter again with the ball, playing it to the captain Billy Bremner. Bremner on the far side of the field, just cutting in over the halfway line. Under challenge from Kennedy, turns back to Charlton. Charlton playing the ball forward, a bad one intercepted by Ball, from Ball to Kennedy. Kennedy the substitute on for Radford, playing it to Ball. Ball flipping it to this near side, the Arsenal right, and it's Pat Rice with it. The ball turned in field again to Ball. Ball playing it forward, Madeley there. Madeley playing it into Arsenal territory again to Simpson. Simpson to Graham. Graham beating one man, that man Giles, beating Mick Jones and flicking the ball to the right back, that's Pat Rice. Rice playing the ball forward to George. George again tackled by Hunter, and Hunter bravely and resolutely coming forward with it, and then finding little Giles just inside his own half. He flicks the ball with his left foot across to his right full-back, that's Reaney. Reaney in field to Bremner. Bremner holding, playing the ball to Reaney. Reaney on that far side of the field, turning it back to Bremner. Here again this possession tactic, all very varied, all a part of the texture of the game as Bremner plays it to Lorimer. Lorimer now in field, and this is a chance for Eddie Gray. He's got a man on his left, that man is Clark. He's going it alone, he's got a chance here. He tried to slip it, and Clark, who was on his left and completely free, is really throwing words at Eddie Gray. Gray, I think, caught in 2 minds whether to go it alone, whether to find Clark, but it was a golden opportunity for Leeds really to make that a clear-cut one. But they're trying again, the ball with Hunter to Clark. Clark now to John Giles. Giles to Hunter. Hunter laying it off for Paul Madeley. Madeley slipping his man beautifully to Giles. Here again, this stringing together of passes. A long one across from Giles, and believe it or not, he finds his right full-back Reaney. From Reaney it goes forward to Bremner. 7.5 minutes left for play. From Bremner it flows down the line to Lorimer. Lorimer looking as though he wants to take Simpson on. Goes on the outside, turns it in, and the ball spinning away there off Peter Simpson. And the referee, I believe, has given a free kick to Arsenal. A little bit of an infringement there, a little bit of argy-bargy. So it's Peter Story from the free kick, finding Alan Ball. Ball finding Armstrong. Can Arsenal come good again? Armstrong gets it across. There's a header from George, and the ball skids away off his head, past the right-hand post of David Harvey in the Leeds goal to our right, and one of the Arsenal players, in fact it is Charlie George, goes down. We'll just wait and see whether the trainer Fred Street is needed. He's not. David Smith says don't come on. George seems to be all right, just took a little bit of a knock as he went in the climb, and so it will be a goal kick to David Harvey in the goal to our right. Harvey then with this goal kick. It's a long one down centre field, aiming for the head of Jones, but from the bounce it goes to McClintock. McClintock now trying to find Graham. Reaney is there, from Reaney to Bremner. Bremner to Giles. Giles now touching it to Gray. These three gifted players midfield, and Gray going forward, beating one man, beating two, and a lovely ball now to Alan Clark. Fine work by Eddie Gray. Clark rather treading on the ball there, checks, but now plays the ball out on the far side to Lorimer. Lorimer chesting it under control. McNabb denying him the way, standing in front of him. Lorimer still with it, trying to go on the outside, trying to cut inside, still holding and getting a free kick given his way. A little bit of obstruction both from McNabb and by Ball. Both Arsenal players tending to tackle in on Lorimer at that particular moment. So Leeds United leading by 1-0, a little under 5 minutes plus injury to go. As again a fine shot there by Lorimer, thumped into the outside of the post and ricocheted away into over the touchline on the far side. And the ball now with Leeds again. The ball from Giles, turned in field to Bremner. Bremner trying to get it out to Lorimer, but again it's McClintock coming away with it. The ball played from McClintock now to Pat Rice. Rice to McClintock. McClintock slipping it to Kennedy, the substitute. Kennedy slipping the ball downfield, and it's Kennedy again, tackled there by Norman Hunter. Hunter finding Gray, and Gray in turn turning it back to his own goalkeeper. The ball with David Harvey. Leeds United leading by 1-0, and it looking as though the cup is going to be theirs for the first time in their history. Now then, it's Reaney on that far side, tackled by Graham. Graham slipping it to McNabb. I wonder, can Arsenal still come back? There's always time in football until the referee blows that final whistle. He blows the whistle there, the infringement by Leeds, a free kick to Arsenal, and I've got no doubt that they'll plough every man upfield into the penalty area down to our right. It's going to be Simpson, their left half, coming from defence to take this free kick. All the big men are up there, including McClintock. Arsenal going for the equaliser. 3.5 minutes left to go. Left for play as the centre comes in. It's headed away by Madeley. Out only as far as George. George turns, goes in field with it. Good control from George. Flicking it in field to McClintock. From McClintock to Story. Story onto the head of Ball, but Hunter is there, and Hunter plays it downfield to Peter Lorimer. And Lorimer now taken on by Rice. Rice wins it, and the ball is with Bremner. Bremner on that far side of the field. The Leeds captain making a brave effort. Going forward, the referee playing advantage. Bremner turns it in field to Giles. Giles to Bremner. Bremner to Giles. These two that go together rather like mustard and cress. The ball played in field now, and it's Alan Clark. Alan Clark, a lateral ball towards us and towards Paul Madeley. Madeley to Eddie Gray. Eddie Gray turning the ball in field now to Mick Jones. Jones under challenge from two Arsenal defenders, and one of them, Story, turns it back on a nasty angle, in fact, to goalkeeper Barnett. The referee perhaps has given a free kick there. We'll have to wait and see. But it looks as though the cup is going to go to Leeds United, and there's going to be a tremendous fervour and cauldron of noise from that terrace to our left. Behind that goal, of course, the Leeds United supporters are really massed in depth. The ball, though, with Alan Ball, from Ball to Armstrong. Armstrong now to Pat Rice, who's going up on the overlap. Rice trying to go on the outside, and the corner conceded by Leeds United. Eddie Gray gives the corner away, so Arsenal have still got a chance. Can they get level and take this final to extra time? Armstrong with the corner on this near side, the Arsenal right. It's a good one. It's headed away again by Charlton, but the ball spinning out to Ray Kennedy. Kennedy on that far side of the field, still Leeds leading by 1-0. Kennedy still with it. Kennedy now getting support and getting it from McClintock, who turns the ball in field to Story. Story tackled there by Giles, and from Giles the ball spins away to the tall Charlton. Charlton down the line, a good ball to Alan Clark. Arsenal with a lot of men committed forward. McClintock comes into it, turns the ball to McNabb. McNabb turning it in field now to Alan Ball. Just a little over a minute plus injury time as again Arsenal build. The ball is with Armstrong on that far side. He checks, turns the ball in field to George. George to Kennedy. Kennedy now to Story. Story to Simpson. Simpson chipping it into the centre. It's a bad one. It's taken quite coolly and calmly by Paul Madeley. And Madeley striding out beautifully. Comes up to the halfway line on this near side and then allows Lorimer to take over. Lorimer turning it in field to Gray. Gray now checking, turning towards his own goal and finding Giles. Giles, the man that Leeds look to just to hold the ball while they get themselves out of trouble. He plays it forward to Lorimer. Lorimer holding. They've had the signal from the line. The ball from Lorimer has turned back to Hunter, and Hunter, without a shadow of hesitation, turns it back to goalkeeper Harvey. The Leeds fans in full cry now, and we have a result in the Scottish Cup final. Celtic have defeated Hibernian by 6-1. Here Leeds have got a fair grip on the FA Cup in the centenary year. They lead by 1-0. The goal by Alan Clark, 8.5 minutes into the second half. We're about 10 seconds plus injury to go. The ball is with Arsenal. Simpson turns it infield. Hunter is there. Hunter to Giles. Giles to Hunter. Hunter, a lovely ball out to Mick Jones, and Jones has got room. He's got Lorimer inside him. He's got Giles inside him, but he's going it alone, and Jones has got a chance. He dribbles almost round the goalkeeper, and finally that was a very good save indeed by Barnett, who then bowls the ball out to McNabb. We're into injury time. Leeds lead by 1-0. Simpson has the ball. There's a lot of the amateur referees already blowing their whistle. The ball is still with Arsenal. It's with Graham. The referee's looking at the watch. The ball played in field to Simpson. There's still time. Simpson playing it forward. Charlton playing it out again. And that's it. Leeds United, for the first time in their history, have won the FA Cup. And there are scenes of great pleasure and joy from them. And I'm sure in a moment or two we shall see Don Revie coming onto the ground. In the meantime, Don Revie can't get on the ground. He's been mobbed by his substitutes sitting on the bench in front of him. But the result, Leeds United have won the FA Cup, have won by 1-0, that goal by Alan Clark, and they can now look forward to Monday and that double.
But the Cup had one last emotional moment for us. Mick Jones, the man who made the winning goal for Alan Clark, had collided with Jeff Barnett in the last minute of the game. He'd dislocated his left elbow, and in fact was lying on a stretcher as Billy Bremner led his team up the steps to the Royal Box to receive the Cup and their medals from the Queen. Arsenal mounted the steps, and then, only then, did Jones get to his feet. And while the Queen and 100,000 of her subjects waited, he walked slowly across the green pitch of Wembley. His left arm strapped to his side, he was helped up the steps by Norman Hunter, and then, to the biggest cheer of the centenary final, he received his winner's medal. 48 hours later, the scene changed to Wolverhampton. Leeds needed just 1 point from this game to complete the double themselves. But alas, that point and the double proved just beyond their reach. But the Cup, the Centenary Cup, was theirs for the first time in their history. The Wanderers in 1872, Leeds in 1972. 100 years of Cup football was over.